My wife and I were just seeking direction for God's plan for our life, and the more I sought God, the more He built an excitement in my heart to plant a church. I like the idea of not having to deal with any history or background, but being able to start something from the ground up. We fell in love with this area. Murfreesboro is growing incredibly fast. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. My heart began to be broken for the city and the loss of this city. I've been in full-time ministry for 24 years, so I had never gone into a ministry situation where I wasn't paid. So this was a huge step of faith. I had to trust the Lord for the financial needs and direction. And the Lord put it in my heart to drive Uber. And that turned out to be an incredible thing that has really had an impact on my life. And I have a whole new respect for the bivocational pastors out there. It prepared my heart to be a church planter. As I drive around Murfreesboro and pick people up, the stories that I hear from people about what their lives are like and what they're going through. And there's just a whole new awareness of the hurt and the pain of the people in this community. So it's been a challenge to trust God for providing for us, but it's been an incredible experience that has helped prepare me to be a better church planter and a better pastor. I was driving around Murfreesboro and just kind of praying, God, where do you want us to start? And back a little ways, I saw this building and it had a phone number. So I called the phone number, said, I'm Johnny Chase. I'm planting a church in Murfreesboro and was wondering if you might be willing to let me rent your building to have services in. And he said, we haven't really rented the building out yet, and you're our first people that we would do that with. He said, how does $500 a month sound? And I was like, sold. When I answered the call to be a church planter, I had no one. But God has sent people around us that have been such a blessing. People who just jump in and help us set up and tear down every week. And one of the guys that helped us was a part of my youth group when I was a youth pastor 20-some years ago. Another person was somebody that I met through driving Uber, and now they've been a part of our process of planting the church. And so it's been exciting to see who God has brought around to be a part of the vision. From the moment I felt called to be a church planter, the very first phone call I made was to our district superintendent, Terry Bailey, and from the very beginning and through the whole process, he has been incredibly supportive. Todd Huckel, our church planting director, has been phenomenal. Every time I've needed help, direction, questions, I've had him on speed dial. He always gets right back with me. They've helped us with sound equipment, instruments, a trailer that helps us transport everything. The district has also sent us to church multiplication network training. That was an incredible experience where we were taught and trained how to do a church plant, everything to expect. There's no way that we could have done what we have done without the help of the Tennessee district. You know, as I was called to plant the church, I really didn't feel like I was a good candidate for that or that I was qualified. I'm a little bit older and thought this was for the younger guys, but my gifts and my abilities aren't what qualifies me. It's the calling and the anointing of God that enables me to do what He's called me to do. And so anybody who is in ministry and feels called to ministry, if God calls you, He will qualify you and prepare you to do that.